continues. I hold the door, look towards Marsh Lake, and wait until she has mounted the steps beside me. We go wordlessly into the house. Carol was born into a military family. Her parents met in England, where she was born. Her father was posted to Whitehorse in 1957, where her younger brother and sister were born. But Carol says, "We bounced around like the military does." She grew up mostly between Whitehorse and Chilliwack, BC. Carol says she wasn't a very good student. "I guess I was troubled when I was younger." She spent a lot of time with Sylvia Williams, a frontier bushwoman, and her family in Sleepy Hollow. There, she learned how to dumpster dive for food, shoe horses, and work for big game outfitters. She got as far as grade 10 and then quit to work full-time. She said, "Anything I could do outside, that was the key." She ran equipment in mining camps and a buggy and a D8 cat at a placer gold mine. Then, she says, "I bounced down to Athlone, BC and ran a scraper for a few years." She saved money to travel in the winter to mostly southern BC. In one camp, she sorted and screened nuggets in the gold room. She worked the mercury plates, the jigs, and the tables. She told me we were allowed to buy an ounce of gold a month from the company. Then she laughs. "I set aside the nuggets I liked, and at the end of the month, I'd sort through and pick out the ones I really liked and buy them." That cache of nuggets prompted her to explore her creative side. Carol took a goldsmithing course and later got into carving. She wears her own ivory pendant. She tells me, "My friend Norma Shorten prayed over it for me, and so did a Buddhist monk. I wear it quite frequently. It's like a little goddess. I say I like its flowing lines. They remind me of fish, and her face brightens." "Ah," she says, "salmon." "I worship at the shrine of Coho. I go to Haines, Alaska all the time. I love watching them come up the river with the tide, these silver darts shooting up the current. They're a beautiful color, silver, and when you catch them, they feed you so, so well, and you thank them." She comes back to the present with a shake of her head. In 1984, Carol qualified as a medic and worked on the oil rigs in northern BC. "They want a woman out there," she says, "if they're good. The girls who went in there with the makeup and looking pretty had the problems. If you kept in mind the men had families, then you never had problems. You had to go in there and be the buddy. Then they trusted us, essentially. You learn that with age." Finally, Carol tells me about her physical state. "I turned 50, and I think my warranty ran out. I had cervical cancer, and they got it all out. But her real struggle is the neck injury. It's been 2 years since a rock hit the truck she was operating. She tells me, my head went back and forth from side to side inside the cab. It took me almost 8 months to convince my doctor something was really wrong. Turns out I was walking around with a totally collapsed disc, and my spinal cord is flattened against my backbone. She will be in operation after operation for the foreseeable future." Carol wipes away a silent tear. "I'm living in medical limbo, waiting and waiting. Pretty much everything that I did in my life is closed to me. I've been playing with carving. I have to think about what I can do if I end up in a wheelchair." Then she puts her hands flat on the table and breathes deeply. "But my spine surgeon is going to bat for me, and he's one of the top spine surgeons in the world. Actually, I'm lucky to be alive." Carol Murphy. Unfortunately, Carol did not recover from her stay in hospitals. I kept in touch with her quite frequently, and she passed away from cancer just in April of this year.